Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Fantasy Football Manager Guy.
Mr. Fantasy Football Manager Guy.
Every year you assemble your closest friends to prepare for another season in the knockdown, drag-out world of make-believe football.
4th and inches.
You were born with the one skill every manager needs to play fantasy football. Absolutely no skill playing real football.
Not so good at catching.
Imaginary catches, imaginary touchdowns. Next up, an imaginary score with an imaginary woman.
Good imagination.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh Swami of the sidelines. You may come in dead last, but you're always first with us.
Mr. Fantasy Football Manager Guy.
Bud Light beer.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is Johnny Waiver Wire 2025 coming to you from the M Den. You see it. Special guest, Justin Crump here in a minute will be joining us live. Just a crazy start to the season. I know last week we had 3 games, including mine. I won by .4. We had another game, I want to say, Keep Calm and Believe, knocked off Bushwhackers by a point. Then Bushwhackers turns around, has to face me this week. Not good for him. And then we had another game. Green Machine won by 2 points. So interesting start to the fantasy season. A lot of injuries going on in the NFL this week, too. You know, it's one of those things where you kind of attribute no preseason, like the prep work that goes into the NFL now. You wonder how many of these guys are actually ready to play week 1, week 2. In the domestic conference North, a whole mess of teams at 1-1. We've got one 0-2 team, and everybody else is 1-1. Organized Chaos and Donkey Punchers coming out of the gate 2-0. Donkey Punchers isn't even top anything in scoring. Organized Chaos in the conference is not even top 3. So 2 guys sitting at 2-0, that's fantasy football, man. It just is what it is, right? And then you get over to the Import Conference, our reigning, defending champion right now, the Wrath, 0-2. Kind of saw it coming. I think he goes to 0-3 this week. Lux Neckbeard, the previous champion, has a chance to go to 3-0. OP, who's back, OP is sitting at 2-0. So it should be interesting. Eaton Ass, we got the Import Conference West. If Bo joins the podcast here, that's going to be something to watch because you got Eaton Ass, Justin Baird sitting at 2-0. In the game of the week this week against Bunk and McNulty. There he is, Bunk and McNulty, baby. Boys in the Hood, Bunk and McNulty, and Eaton Ass all sitting in, chiming in at 2-0 to start the season. So going to be a really, really cool start to the fantasy season. I think we're going to get to see what everybody's made of. Bo, what's good, baby?
What's good, man? Nothing. Just here collecting taxpayers' money.
Trying to finish up the workday.
That's it. That's it.
So yeah, I just started the show, talking about how week 1 is always hard because you don't really know what to expect because we get so few preseason games, right?
Yep.
And then you kind of get into week 2 and you're like, all right, I think I got a good understanding of like what everybody's going to be about. But you start to see teams like Green Bay, right? So for me, week 1, I watched the Green Bay Detroit game and I say, Detroit's really bad. Like they lost 2 coordinators. They don't got their shit together. Like it's going to take them some rebuild time, right?
Yep.
And then you watch week 2 and then you watch Green Bay just dismantle Washington. And it's like, okay, well, was Detroit really that bad or is Green Bay really that good? And Detroit manhandles somebody else. So you're like, well, fuck, maybe Green Bay's like a Super Bowl contender.
I think Green Bay's a wagon this year.
Yeah.
But I also think the Bears are just that bad.
The Bears are bad.
They're just not good.
So this is where I struggle, though, because I don't know that the Bears are bad because as a Redskins fan, I saw this. There were many years to where our defense was good, but the offense couldn't get out of their way. So it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, turnover. And the defense was just always on the field because the offense couldn't sustain a drive. And so that, I think, plays a role. I'm just, I'm not a big believer in Caleb Williams.
No.
So
the Bears have the worst front office maybe in the NFL. So you probably missed on Williams. Probably.
Yep.
You can tell Ben Johnson doesn't trust him. Doesn't
Yep.
like the guy. Doesn't like the guy. They in the first round they draft a tight end at 10, who
Yeah.
they don't even use.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they already had a good tight end.
you go to the second round. You
Yeah.
draft a receiver after you already have DJ Moore and Rome Odunze
Yeah.
instead of drafting offensive lineman,
Yep.
defensive lineman. This is why the Bears will always be terrible.
Yeah.
They're just not good. Um,
And you feel
did,
bad.
did
Like I've got some friends that are Bears fans, and every year
oh god,
they're like on the thread, and they're like the Bears, the Bears, the Bears. And we're like, man, next year, maybe next year. Like this is not the year. You
they
know what I
they
mean? Like,
they made JJ McCarthy look like Dan Marino in the second
yeah,
half.
yeah,
It's just they're bad, and
yeah.
you know, did Detroit punt the ball one time? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't even think they kicked
I
the field
think
goal.
Goff had
I,
like 5 touchdowns.
yeah.
Truth
So
be told, so I was sitting at the we had a baseball tournament last weekend, and I was sitting out there with Todd, and we were going through trying to get red zone set up, and I was like, "Fuck, I didn't submit my lineup yet." And so, like adjustments, I had made it for
yeah,
Thursday, but so I would literally went in right at 1 o'clock and took McCarthy out and put Goff in. Thank
saved you.
fucking
Thank
God.
God. Yep.
Oh, that would have
Yep.
been so bad. I'd have been sitting here 0-2, mad as fuck because
Making
Goff went
moves.
off.
Making moves.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. I know you got about 15 minutes till you got to get off and do family stuff. Fantasy football, baby. We're going to start domestic conference. Johnny Waiver Wire. I get the Bushwhackers this week. Bushwhackers 0-2. He's only scored 173 points on the season. I told you, I think the Cowboys offense is sufficient, but
Mhm.
I think the Bears defense is good enough. I think this game's going to probably be like a 28-24 type. I think Dak has the potential to be pretty good. Um, but without Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase is almost useless, in my opinion. We'll have to see, right? Like, I don't know what else the Bengals are going to be able to cook up. I think they're going to go a heavy dose of Chase Brown. That said, I got Johnny Waiver Wire favored by 3.5. I like my team. I think they're balanced. I like AJ Brown, Emeka, Puka, Calvin
Mhm.
Ridley is my fourth. Kyle Pitts is having a decent year. I got Johnny Waiver Wire to win.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really close game. Just looking at the matchups, I agree with the Bears and Cowboys. I think they will both kind of come back Sunday a little bit. Uh, 20, like you said, 24-21 type game. Dallas is running the ball a lot, especially when they get down in the red zone. And I got Dak in another league. It's not like Dak's can go out there and throw 4 or 5. They actually are running the ball a lot. I got Johnny Waiver based on AJ Brown is due for a big game.
Absolutely.
He's due. The Rams have a good front seven. I think Philly will have to throw the ball a little bit. And I think Baltimore and Detroit will be a high scoring game on Monday Night Football. I think Goff will put up decent numbers. You got Puka, AJ Brown. I like Johnny Waiver to win close
Johnny
though.
Waiver Wire to 2-0. Let's fucking go. All right, next matchup, Dill Squad. So I kind of went back and forth on this one because Organized Chaos right now, I think, sitting at 2-0. He is. He's sitting at 2-0, but he's only scored 205 points, which puts him really like fifth. I think he scored less points than me or right about the same, and he's leading his division right now. So I look at his roster and I'm like, all right, Josh Allen probably going to go off tonight. But the rest of it, like Jerry Judy, Wandale Robinson, Debo, like I just, especially not if Jaden's out, if they keep Jaden out, which I haven't heard one way or another, I just don't like the organized chaos roster. I got Dill Squad. The line I had set originally at 2.5. I think Dill Squad probably wins by double digits, gets to 2-1. Unless Josh Allen goes for 60. I think it's Dill Squad in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I like this squad by 5. I think the big thing will be Achant tonight getting garbage points. Miami's going to get the absolute piss kicked out of them tonight. But
Yeah.
But in the fourth quarter, Achan will catch 5 or 6 dump offs, and he'll end up scoring a lot of garbage time points. I like Neighbors again. Neighbors might finish overall number 1 this year at wide receiver. You feel like Andrews is due to catch a touchdown. He dropped one last week. I've had Andrews for multiple years. This is what he does. I do not like the receivers for organized chaos at all. Like not even a
No.
little bit. Wandale Robinson will not score as much points this week as the rest of the year as he did last week. And Kyron Williams has Philadelphia. He will not do much. So, yeah, Josh Allen, he'll score 30 plus, but it won't be enough. I like doing squad of 5.
As we were sitting here talking about Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson, my upset alert is going to be the Giants by a field goal over Kansas City this week.
I don't think Kansas
At
City's
home,
great at all.
Kansas City's not great. At home, I've watched the Giants both of the first 2 weeks. Their defense plays hard. Their front seven is fucking awesome. I think it's going to give Patrick Mahomes a hard time. The line for them is 6.5. Kansas City. I would take that all day for if I'm betting the Giants. I'm taking the 6.5.
Yeah, I think they cover. I think Chiefs probably find a way to win by field goal. I mean, it's hard to see them falling to 0-3, but I think the Giants cover. I agree.
Isn't it funny? There's a lot of people sitting around waiting for the Chiefs to go 0-3 so Facebook can go berserk.
So go berserk completely. The Chiefs, I mean, they're just not. There's nobody on the outside to throw the ball to. Kelsey's old. It's obvious
Yeah.
Kelsey's done. So yeah, their defense is going to keep them in the games, but they're going
Is
to
it
struggle.
coincidence that he becomes like gets married to Taylor Swift and big pop star and his career falls off, or was he already aging and kind
I,
of on the decline?
I think he's 36 years old. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 37, and I know how he feels. So and he can't take all the testosterone that I do. I think they get tested for that.
Facts. So next game I got, and maybe he changed it, but when I was checking, Toes with Tourette's only has 8 guys in, so I'm not sure who his quarterback is. Maybe it's somebody that got hurt, but it's hard for me to judge anybody that's got 8 guys in the lineup. Donkey Punchers, I don't love his roster. I like Drake London. Terry is going to be dependent on, I think, Jaden. I do like Hawkinson. I think the game changer in this one, I got Donkey Punchers winning by 4.5, and I got a big dose of Chase Brown for Cincinnati if they're going to have a chance. Vikings got a good defense. It's in Minnesota, but I think if they have a chance, they're going to give 25 carries to Chase Brown.
I'm assuming Toad is going to put Jake Browning in at quarterback. Making that assumption, I think Toad is going to win this close. I like Bijan. Carolina might have the worst run defense in NFL. I think Bijan might go for 30 himself Sunday to carry him. And I also like Zay Flowers against Detroit. Like I said, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think Flowers probably scores. Brees Hall outside of he's getting a lot of usage. And then on Donkey Punchers, Tony, I mean, Houston's defense is really good. I think Lawrence will struggle. You don't know really how Chase Brown, if he's going to catch all the passes like he did with Burrow from Jake Browning. I'd be a little nervous about that. And has Terry McLaurin done anything all year? I don't think he's done nothing. And Hawkinson is like Kelsey. Hawkinson's old. If you just watch him play, Hawkinson's cooked. I like Toads close.
Toads close. The next matchup is an interesting one. So I beat Delmarva Draft Wizard last week by 0.4. And I'm going down his roster. I'm like, I don't even know how it was that fucking close, to be completely honest with you. And then he runs into an absolute buzzsaw this week. I think keep calm and believe. I got the line set at 10.5. Herbert's having a great year. Bucky Irving, Justin Jefferson, Lad McConkey, Smith and Jigba. I don't think this one's close. I think keep calm and believe runs away with it.
Yeah, we're on the same page on that one. Bucky Irving against the Jets, big game. I mean, CMC's probably going to have his usual 20-plus game, but Lad's due for a big game, and you're going to have Surtain on Q Johnson, who's turned into Randy Moss this year. But I think he'll get shut down against Denver. I think Lad have a big game. I don't know how he has all these receivers.
It's
but
wild.
yeah, I like keep calm and believe big, real big.
That's how I feel about your roster. I think he's got Lad as a keeper.
It's a game changer. Yeah, game changer.
Yeah, that's an absolute game changer. All right, next matchup, Battle of the Basement. In the basement, we got Reality Check and JPP's Finger Bangers 0-2 against 1-1. Neither guy has put up 200 points on the year. But looking at the roster, I'll tell you, I don't mind Reality Check's roster. I'm taking reality check in this one to get his first win, get out of the basement, send JPP back down there. Reality check, I set the line at -5.5. I just got no wide receiver talent is my big takeaway for JPP. And I like DJ Moore. I think he's underrated every year. He was sitting there. I should have drafted him. I know it. I kind of regret that. I like CD Lamb. I don't love Hunter Renfro, but James Conner's always one to put up points. Kyler Murray's, as long as he's healthy, he's putting up points. So I'm taking reality check in that one.
Yeah, I'm taking JPP. His receivers ain't much, even though I think Sutton will be decent. Like I said, Quentin Johnson, I guarantee he scores less than 3 points this week. But I think Jonathan Taylor, I think he has a big day against the Titans. The Titans are really bad.
Are you waiting for Jonathan Taylor to just break, though? Like, I feel like I feel like every game I'm waiting for Jonathan Taylor to just break.
That's the risk with Taylor, which I mean, it's a risk with a lot of running backs, but Taylor he's going to miss 3 games.
Yeah.
So when you draft him, you got to assume he's going to miss 3 games. But against the Titans, I think he routinely burns the Titans. Jacobs is going to get his. If I was JPP, I would probably play Jamison Williams over a couple of those receivers. I would also play Penix over C.J. Stroud. I just don't think C.J. Stroud's that damn good.
No, he's not good at all.
So
I tried to tell BJ that. BJ's a big, like, for some reason, because he lived in Houston, he loves Nico Collins and he follows C.J. Stroud. I'm like, bro, C.J. Stroud's just not good.
He's not even good.
No.
He's just not. I would definitely play Penix against Carolina over C.J. Stroud. But he might not do that. But I still think he'll win just based on the running back matchups.
Stealing my TDs against Bridesmaids Slayers. I don't love the wide receiving core on Thielen my TDs. To be honest with you, I don't even know who the fuck Elik Ayumanor is. I have no idea. Never heard of him in my life. Maybe I'm old and behind the curve. I like Roma Dunze. Obviously, Brian Thomas is good. I just like the talent over there. I like Tyreek Hill. I think he's bound to have a Tyreek Hill game. Brock Bowers is a beast. I think Ashton Genty is going. For some reason, Washington just can't stop anybody again this year. I don't know what their problem is. And so I think Genty probably has 2 or 3 touchdowns, and Jalen Hurts has another good game. I got the Slayers winning by 4. Slayers get to 2-1.
I got Thielen. I think Baker has a good game against the Jets. Gibbs, like I've said a few times, Lions Ravens will probably be a high scoring game. I have no fucking clue who Elik Aymanoro or whoever that is. I don't no clue who he is. Brian Thomas, I feel like it's due, even though he'll have Derek Stingley probably on him. Anybody can win this game, but I'm gonna go with Thielen. Probably really close. I haven't.
Long Island Legacy against the Pharmacist. So Blair, the Pharmacist, sitting here at the top of the division, 230 points the first 2 weeks. Contender or pretender? Based on Blair's like history, I've got to go pretender. But then I don't. Again, he's the guy with Caleb Williams, and then I look like, okay, Nick Chubb had a great game last week. Is he able to do that again this week? At Jacksonville, probably. Devontae Adams, Marvin Harrison Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm like, this motherfucker is actually going to get to 2-1. And I hate to say it, I'm not buying the week 1 Aaron Rodgers performance. I think he goes to New England. I think the Patriots shove it up his ass. And so I got Blair winning. My note here is solid everything. I hate Caleb, but he's got wide receivers that are far superior to Long Island Legacies.
Yeah. Don't be concerned. Blair will eventually trade Amon-Ra St. Brown for like a backup running back. It'll happen at some point. Before the trade
every
deadline.
year.
Based on Long Island starting Aaron Jones, who's on the IR, I'm going with Blair, like you said.
Yeah, he's got to make that trade. He's got to make that sub out, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know who's on his roster, but
yeah, I think just based on the wide receivers, I don't love his running backs at all. That's going to catch up to him. But I just think based on Devontae Adams and St. Brown, he'll win that pretty easy.
All right, last game of the domestics, and I know we got to speed it up because you got 5 minutes left for you. You got to get on the road.
We're
Medicine
good.
Men and Ditka. Close game. My note here is close game. Tough matchup for Mahomes and Barkley. I do think Lamar goes for 40 against the Lions on Monday night. Again, I think Mahomes is going to struggle. I think, like you said, they probably pulled off against the Giants in New York by 3. And Saquon's got the Rams, and the Rams are good, right? Like the Rams defense is solid. So I think that kind of stifles Dick a little bit to make the matchup closer than it
Mhm.
probably should be. I like Medicine Men to get to 2-1.
Yeah, another very close game. I think just based on Lamar, I think Jordan Mason with Aaron Jones on IR will probably have 20 plus points against Cincinnati. I'm assuming the Vikings are going to run the ball a lot. Nico's probably due for a big day. Again, the Jaguars defense is atrocious as well. And the receivers for get off my dick guys just starting Marvin fucking Mims. I
Marvin
mean
fucking Mims.
that's rough. I mean, great running backs, but it ain't gonna be enough. Lamar and BJ's gonna get that win.
Well, let's get over to the import conference. First game is the game of the week. First game right out of the gate, 2-0 Eaton Ass, 2-0 Bunk and McNulty. I mean, I kind of touched on it in the pregame before you jumped in. Josh Allen and Lamar game. I mean, matchup of the day, right? Like both guys, I think go for 40. I think it kind of offsets. Both have fantastic matchups. ETN's been playing well to start the year. James Conner always scores. Um, my note here is Bunk by 1.5. I think it's close. QB battle. But Bunk and McNulty has the clear-cut better wide receiver core. I think he goes to 3-0. Congratulations.
Yeah, this is gonna be probably pretty close. I think a lot would. I'm a little nervous tonight that Buffalo might get up so big on Miami that they just run the damn ball the whole second half. That would be my concern, like what happened last week against the Jets. But yeah, I'm gonna win by 10. The difference at receiver, I'm gonna win
The
by
difference
10.
in receivers. It's not even
Um,
close. Boys in the Hood, right on your ass. Here's Gary. Don't look too far. He is right there, sitting at 2-0.
every
I
year,
love it. It's one of my favorite things to look up in the standings and see Gary right there next to you, like fighting, trying to
every
knock
year.
you off. Uh, Here he goes. I got him favored by 7.5 in this one against Happy Endings. Again, I don't love Caleb Williams. I think A Chain might have a Buffalo's defense is very suspect. Todd being a Bills fan, I follow him probably more than I want to. But so I think A Chain kind of keeps him close. But again, I don't really love anybody else in that roster. Boys in the Hood goes to 3-0, wins by 7.5. Herbert and solid wide receivers with Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. I think happy endings
Oh, the upset.
with Achant, Drake London. Uh, I could see McMillan for Carolina having a big day against Atlanta. Trey McBride's probably due. Um, and Boys in the Hood is starting Rashad White at running back. Maybe he knows something we don't.
He had a touchdown last week.
Yeah, he won't. He won't. He won't do it. He won't do it 2 weeks in a row. And Bucky Irvin got him all the way down the field, and they gave it to him on the
Yeah.
1 yard line. Yeah, it's not going to happen again. I'm gonna go
So
happy.
you're
Endings.
hoping he goes to 2-1.
Basically, yeah. It's going to be a close game though.
A team with no name suffered a big injury if Jaden Daniels is held out this week to his roster. I thought he was pretty solid. I mean, you take Jaden and put him in there healthy, take Trevor out with Bucky Irving, Keenan Allen. Well, Keenan Allen is what it is, right? But Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ooh. Now that I'm looking at this, these are all great names if this is 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But it kind of changes. The only thing that sucks is Jesus Take My Fantasy Team is rolling out garbage. So I'm sticking with I got Team with No Name by 1.5. Gonna be close. This could be a toss up. Yeah, did I lose you?
Yeah, I have a team or no name big. I think Jesus Take My Fantasy might be the worst team on our side. I don't like anything on it. Genty hasn't really done anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Zero. Troy Franklin, Cedric Tillman. Yeah, Cooper Cup 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with I think just Bucky Irvin and St. Brown. I think he'll carry the day. He'll win big.
Yeah. All right, next matchup, Hurricane Irene. And I had a phone call come in. I think that's why I got disconnected for a second. So it stopped the podcast. Now I gotta like fucking mash things up. I got do not disturb on. I'm not sure why I did that. So hopefully it doesn't fuck anything up. I should be able to edit it and add it in, but either way.
Either way.
next game, Hurricane Irene, Naughty by Norfolk. Naughty by Norfolk is 0-2. Again, Todd, I'm not sure what's going on. Brian, new guy, he added him to. I think Brian thought the league was going to be easier. I think they lost a close one. Look, this matchup, Naughty goes to 0-3. I said it. I think Chase is going to have a big night on scoring. Hurricane Irene favored by 2.5. I think he gets his first win, goes to 1-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Naughty by Norfolk. I think James Cook will have a big game. I think just volume alone, Chase will probably have a decent day. It's gonna be close, probably low scoring, like a 84-79 type game. I
Oh,
think
I
he
said
ekes it out.
Chase Brown. I meant Jamar Chase taking a big hit. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes a hit, but he's still. I think T Higgins takes a much bigger hit than Chase. I think Naughty by Norfolk edges it, low scoring defensive battle.
Barron's Bulldogs. So Barron's Bulldogs sitting here at 1-1 has discount double check also 1-1. Barron has not put up hardly any points this year, and discount double checks at 223 points on the season. When I look at the roster, again, I like Chase Brown this week. I like Jalen
Mm-hmm.
Hurts. Justin Jefferson obviously going to take a hit. I think we'll see. He hasn't really
Mm-hmm.
done much, but it's hard, man, because you look at that and you're like Keon Coleman, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Sam Laporta, Chase Brown, Jalen Hurts. Like he should win in a run, in a runaway. I got the Bulldogs. My note was by 5.5 gets to 2-1. He's got the better roster with a big dose of Chase Brown.
Yeah, I got the Bulldogs by probably 3 or 4. I actually think Jefferson probably gets an upgrade because Wentz is, he'll sling it around. Like he'll throw it deep. He's not going to worry about making fucking up like JJ probably was.
Yep.
I think he'll sling it to Jefferson. That's probably the only person on the Vikings that'll catch a pass. I think Wentz will try to feed him. I bet Jefferson has a big day Sunday. I think it'll carry the day for the Bulldogs.
Green Machine against the Wrath. So the Wrath, current champion, shows up to the draft, nonchalant, sits on the couch, fucking drafts from his phone. And here he is now at 0-2, only scored 129 total points. Maybe should have taken the draft a little bit more serious. He's going to get fucking annihilated this week by Green Machine, I think. I've got my only note is Green Machine by 6.5 goes to 2-1. Wrath goes to 0-3. Even though I think Saquon Barkley has a tough matchup, and I don't love starting two tight ends, but if one of your two tight ends is Tyler Warren, I think you're okay. I'm rolling with Green Machine.
Yeah, I despise starting two tight ends. It's hard to pick a team when they start two tight ends. It just is. But he's got Barkley. Kyler will score his points typically. I want to go with Green Machine very, very close, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Wrath ekes us out with Jordan Mason and Jacobs.
Swamp Rats. Joe is trying to make a run. He's trying to save his franchise. He's just over 200 fantasy points on the year. He's got a matchup this week where he's licking his chops. He's facing Sportsbook, who's 0-2. My initial note was Swamp Rats favored by 4.5. He's starting two tight ends, what we were just talking about, and his two tight ends are not Tyler Warren.
No.
And so I look at him like, all right, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, Jordan Love. Like, I think Sportsbook's going to do enough to make this interesting, but I also think with the Dolphins playing from behind, Puka, Tyreek Hill, Jawan Jennings, I think should be enough. Tua's going to have garbage time touchdowns, probably 3 of them.
Yep.
So I'm taking the Swamp Rats to win by 4.5.
Yeah, same here. For basically the same reasons. Those two tight ends that Sportsbook starting, they might not score 5 combined points. Just hard to win with that. Like I said, Puka's going to have a big day. Hill, it's the garbage points for the Dolphins tonight that's going to change a lot of matchups this week. It just is.
Last matchup, OP, sitting at 2-0, contender or pretender. I'm taking Lux Neckbeard, also 2-0. So you got, if there was a second game of the week, you got you guys sitting over on your side 2-0 against Eaton Ass 2-0. This group 2-0 each. I'm taking Goff and A.J. Brown. Like we said earlier in the pod, I think A.J. Brown has a bounce back week this week. Jared Goff, I think, goes off. Excuse me. He's played well last week after running to a buzzsaw in week 1. I'm rolling with Lux Neckbeard to get the win.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with OP based on Bijan, Zay Flowers. I think they both have big weeks. I think Dak. Hell, who knows the Bears? I mean, Cowboys might score 50 on them. I mean, it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but the Bears, I mean, there's no resistance. So it's possible. I think OP wins it very, very close, is what I think.
Well, Bo, thanks for joining, man. Hey, who
No,
do
it's
you got
real.
tonight? 11.5. Bills by 11.5. What's the bet?
That's a big spread for a division game. I think Bills cover. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
They cover by
But
2 touchdowns. I think
it,
so too.
it wouldn't shock me if the Dolphins backdoor cover it and lose by 10. I'll stay
Are you
away.
betting it or no?
I will not bet the spread. I'll do some prop bets. I'll probably bet Tua over like 250.
Yeah,
I like that. Hill or Waddle want to score if Waddle plays.
yeah,
Like I said, it's a backdoor cover. 11.5 is a lot for a division game. A
yeah,
whole lot.
yeah.
So,
All right, buddy. Well,
all
drive
right,
safe.
man.
Good to talk to you. We'll talk
See
soon.
you later.